Hello and welcome. Holy fucking shit. This week 8 stuff, this Course in Miracle stuff, this shadow work stuff, this ego stuff, this adventure. What a ride. So we start this meeting with the breath and the healer's prayer. We use the breath to bring us the fuck right here, right now, in this present moment. And we use the healer's prayer to get the fuck out of the way. I'm in a F-bomb sort of mood today. One of the greatest books I ever read was um, Power of Fuck, I think it was called. And it's just about the power of that word. It's the most magical word in the English language. It can be used as a verb, a noun, an adjective. Anyway, it's one of my favorite words. I'm feeling it today. Hi, Marcy.
Hello.
So I have a spatula in my hand for some reason. We're going to start with the breath and the healer's prayer. So I invite you to repeat after me. So we're letting go of all we were doing before, letting go of all that we must do later, dropping into the present moment. I am here to be truly helpful. I am here to represent him who sent me. I do not need to worry about what to say or what to do, because he who sent me will direct me. I am content to be wherever he wishes, knowing he goes there with me. I will be healed as I let him teach me to heal. So I've been obsessed again with Kenneth Wapnick videos. I'm hooked. This guy, he makes it sound so simple. And when I'm listening, I get it, and then I forget quickly, and then I have to go listen again, and then I forget, and I listen again, and I forget. So we are dreaming. This is a dream. We are the dreamer of the dream. It's a screen, it's a movie that's playing. There's nothing that we can do here. I can't do anything here. The transformation artist that I've been quite identified as for 45 years is trained to fix things. There's a lot of doing. So unwinding that, recognizing, learning that I am the dreamer of the dream. I'm not the dream figure. I've been identified as the dream figure for 45 years. And so learning to separate has been a game changer. And so Kenneth Wapnick, one of the first scholars of the course, he was buddies with Helen, that lady. That lady. So he's got a video called The Dreamer of the Dream. And then he's got a part 2, The Dreamer of the Dream. And so it's really that simple. So that's what's going on here. So, and I don't resist that at all. That knowledge, that truth, that rings so true to me, because this dream that I'm watching is insane. My story is totally insane. It's full of trauma it's full of like so gut-wrenching pain, total insanity. And so I have no resistance to the idea that this whole shit show is just a dream that I'm watching. And what a relief it finally is becoming that there's nothing to do here, nothing to fix. At first, of course, that was a struggle because I was identified as the ego, the one that fixes. So I am the dreamer of the dream, part one, part two, Kenneth Wapnick. And then the other one, Jesus meets us where we're at, where we think we're at. This is a highly individualized curriculum. And Jesus meets us all where we're at. And so while we're all on the same journey, it looks different for each of us, this awakening. The perfect storm that it took for me to wake up is different in many aspects, in form, but not in content, as Kenneth Wapnick would say, to Marcy's total shit show perfect storm that had to happen for her to wake up. It's different, but the same. So it's that simple. I am disidentifying from the ego. And that's what this journey has been about. This Zoom call that I've been hosting for 8 weeks has been the perfect catalyst to wake up this mind. And I can say solidly that I am the dreamer of this dream. I am not this body. And so today I had another one of those perfect storm days. The ego just has one thing after another, problem after problem after problem after problem, right? That's what makes this world go round. Constant problems to look at to distract us from the truth, which is that we are the one Son of God. There's only one of us. It's all an illusion. It's all a smokescreen. So today I had another day of just watching the ego do its thing. Watch the transformation artist do her thing. And I'm still not in fully non-judgment because I was laughing my ass off again today at the ridiculousness that happens and the stories that are going on. So again, like I've been talking about for 8 weeks, it just is hanging itself. The ego is hanging itself. Because now that I see it, it's like the man behind the curtain. Once you see it for what it is, you can't really take it seriously anymore. There's a short clip on YouTube called The Elevator Scene. And it's from a movie called Revolver that I've never seen. I have no desire to see this movie at this time. I have no idea what it's about, but this elevator scene, holy shit. So that's the ego, and that's what I am not. And it lays it out so simply and quite scarily, frankly. Trigger warning before you watch that. Be sitting down. So I feel like Keith Kavanaugh jokes that he says the same thing over and over again, and Kenneth Wapnick jokes about it too. And we all kind of joke about the big blue book, Jesus is just saying the same 6 things over and over and over again in different ways and different ways and different ways, the same 6 things. And I feel like I'm at that point now where I just keep saying the same thing. It's so simple and it's so easy once you actually get the core teaching, the core practice, where to look at the ego without judgment. That's the core practice for me. I'm not a Course in Miracles teacher. I'm a brand new student. And I've discovered that it's really that easy, and that's the core teaching. And that comes from obsessively watching Kenneth Wapnick videos. And Keith Kavanaugh, and he's a student of Kenneth Wapnick. And I've also listened to a lot of David Hoffmeister. So, yeah, I just really see it as that simple. And that's where I'm at today. I've got 2 mighty companions joining me. I'm so grateful. How are you doing?
I'm still leaning into like reminding the practice of reminding that it's my thoughts that are causing the fear. It's nothing happening out here. It's my thoughts that are causing it, and I'm pausing a lot. And I started the free 3-day healing retreat with Francis that they offered to subscribers to the newsletter. And that was a funny start because when I tried to sign up, the page went blank, just nothing. It went blank. And it took a day and a half of, that's resistance. You know what I mean? So it took a day and a half, and I started it last night, and I've been continuing today. And, I don't know what anything is for. I have no business thinking I understand anything, or I know what this retreat is for. I know what this Zoom is for. I have no business thinking that I am aware of anything in terms of what I need for my healing or what it's going to look like, or I haven't got a fucking clue. I'm remembering that is feels pretty important. Spirit orchestrated it perfectly when there was guidance to start these lessons. I didn't know I was going to be starting them. It was one day to the next. And that was in March. And I've had the book since I was 30 years old. And I've never done the lessons back to back to back. I've done lots of lessons. They've just never been back to back. And I know, like I said today or yesterday, whenever that was, like, if I had known what was going to get cracked open, I never would have done it. So like spirit knows what I need, and I do not. And the whole, if you will be a miracle worker for me, I will arrange space and time for you. Like, I had guidance last night to start doing my recordings on my phone, and I was like, my phone, what would I do that for? Like, and this morning I tried to record on my computer and the camera wouldn't work. So it's like, set up the phone. I told you to use your phone. But it's like, why? Well, why does it matter? Why doesn't matter at all? It's completely irrelevant. I don't need to know why about anything. Just listen and follow. Listen and follow. It was just such a precious guidance moment. I feel like so gentle and precious. Use your phone. Go from your computer to your phone. You're going to your computer. Okay, the camera's not going to work. Now go to your phone. Like it was just okay. We're going to set this up for you so you can do what I need you to do. And it's so relevant, but it seems irrelevant. Like, what does it matter if I use my phone or my computer?
Right.
But it's very relevant if that's what the guidance is. So I'm just, you know, I'm doing these Zooms with you guys and I'm doing the Francis thing and I'm continuing to watch my David videos and do the lessons, knowing I'm just going to keep getting cracked open more and more. And I don't know what that's going to look like. And I'm a little surprised that I'm going to keep doing this because I have been fucking terrified. So why would I keep going? But yeah, I just know that I need to keep going. I actually considered not doing the lessons a few days ago. I actually considered it. I was really convinced maybe I just need to pause in the lessons, you know, thinking I could make that choice. Like it's up to me. And no, no.
I think that's one of the most important realizations on this journey. Spirit knows what I need. I do not. Because when we're trying to run the show, we're just so in the fucking way. Every time I try to run the show, I'm in the way. That's why I start this meeting with the healer's prayer. If I was running the show, I would fuck it up. It wouldn't be so powerful. We have to get out of the way and allow ourselves to be guided. And as I say that, I think of Kenneth Price and I laugh and I laugh and I laugh because a year and a half ago, when beloved Tina was still around, we got into an argument about that because I came from a world of transformation. And on my journey, I needed to get in the driver's seat and take charge of my life. And that's what I did. And I healed myself. And then I show up in this Zoom call with this fucking guy named Kenneth, and he's got a totally backwards fucking thing to say. And I, of course, balked at it. I'm like, no. He's like, we need to get in the passenger seat and let spirit guide us. And I'm like, dude, no. No, no, no. You don't know what you're talking about. And of course, it was I that didn't know what I was talking about, but I was in my, like, I know mind. And so, yeah, it's hilarious. And I can totally say that now. Like, yeah, that's one of the most important things on this path that I have finally discovered. Get the fuck out of the way and allow myself to be guided. That's where the power is. Because I don't know what I need. I don't know what anything is for. I think I do. And that's one of the biggest ego traps around. That whole, I think I know. The righteousness, soapbox that we get up on. Yeah, that's what I'm going to name this video. Spirit knows what I need. I do not. Pray, listen, follow. So powerful.
You guys shared yesterday with me I rewatched the video, and lesson 80, let me recognize my problems have been solved. So I had time today to like really go into that lesson, and it was amazing. Everything that you guys talked about last night was so helpful. Like, oh my God, today was like when you have a day where like you just keep getting like I mean, like, oh, so I'm kind of off. I don't know, like I'm just woo. So then, so I go into lesson 80, right? And then Spirit's like chapter 8. And I'm like, oh, okay. What part? Like the whole thing, chapter 8, all of it. So I had chapter 8 today, once, twice, 3 times. Let's just not even count because it just feels so good. And as I'm listening, there's like something in me going, you know what? Ever since I was really little, eight's like my favorite number. And of course, I had no idea it's the infinity sign, right? But uh, my dad's baseball, uh, I'm going to say this wrong, like jersey. It's not, I don't know what. Anyways, it's your uniform or whatever. Anyways, he was number 8. And I just love the number 8. And I'm listening to this today, just going, wow. Um, wow. Um, I'm just speechless. I mean, really, like I have
Want to
so
read
many
chapter
notes.
8 for us?
Um, the journey back. Oh, I like this. Knowledge is not the motivation for learning this course. Peace is.
Yes.
This is
Yes.
it's the prerequisite to knowledge. So like I didn't realize, peace is the prerequisite to knowledge. Oh, only because those who are in conflict are not peaceful, and peace is the condition of knowledge because it's the condition of the kingdom. So all my upset and all my, problems, and I'm like, wow, the whole um the whole message that I got, like, boiled down, is, first of all, there's no opponent. And when I think that thought in my head, there are no opponents, that just like relaxes me. Like my, you know, posturing and defensiveness just softens. And it's talking about how, the people that we perceive as opponents are our messengers. And I just had just such an amazing day. I had so many realizations, and it's so funny because um I I'm really getting centered on that I'm not a body, and the seeming health or the seeming sickness is all just a distraction, and it really has nothing to do with anything. So I just feel like today I feel like I really got like an answer and a felt like a felt state of and today's the first day that I was able to walk literally like without limping. You know, I had fallen in the shower a few weeks ago pretty bad, and today I was walking. I'm like, oh, I guess I'm not limping anymore. So it's an amazing day, like amazing. I I kind of told you guys a little bit about the billboard that's outside my window, and it shows, okay, when I first moved here, I was really feeling isolated and alone. And I was guided to look at this billboard, and I know how bizarre that sounds, but I don't know, spirit just uses whatever is around. There's no TVs or no, I don't have very many things to kind of go to or look at. And there was a picture of the billboard, and it was the Wounded Warrior Project. And the one, it was a silhouette picture of a soldier holding another soldier over his shoulder, like carrying him. And when I was guided to look at that, I got the felt state of being held, like carried, really, not just held, carried. So then, as soon as I noticed that and received it, the next day the billboard changed, and it was a advertisement for I don't know, like a business or something. They removed tattoos, and it's a picture of a lady laying on her stomach, and there's like a little man standing on her booty, and he's got like a paint roller, and he's like, and it says untattoo, so like he's removing her tattoos with, anyways. And I was like, what in the hell? And I'm like, oh, spirit's like, we're gonna undo the body now. And I'm like, oh, okay. So as soon as I got that, and I've been looking at that for a few weeks, I get up this morning and the billboard's changed, and it's this big red background, and it says eczema on it. And I'm like, ew, oh my God, what is my lesson going to be now? Oh my God. Anyway, so I was like, I just felt like, look up the energetic reasons behind eczema. So I did. Eczema, anger, depression, anxiety, low self-esteem, can all be psychological effects of eczema. Stress leads to skin disease, and having skin disease is very stressful. So the whole cycle between stress and skin disease is perpetuating. So I'm taking that out, and I'm going ego. I'm substituting words in there, and I'm like, okay, so we're going to look at where there's anger, depression, anxiety, low self-esteem, all this stuff. And there's nothing to dive into there because it doesn't exist. So my focus isn't on how do I, okay, it's self perpetuating. So, like the stress of having a skin disease makes it worse, and it's like a cycle, and it just keeps going and going. And I was shown, it's like, Marcy, you're on this cycle and you're paying attention to these things that there's no resolution to. It's a distraction. That's like the best, excuse me, that's the best way I can explain it. It's kind of one of those things where you get it, and there's not really a, excuse me, I'm sorry. There's not a lot of words to convey it, but it was amazing. Like I had this incredible day, and my mind's blown. And everything that you guys said last night, like, okay, so Christina said, reminded me that I don't have healing to do. That's Holy Spirit's job, and I'm in charge of willingness. And I'm like, yes, okay, yes. And then Christina also said that she had her glasses and she's like, I'm going to look at this with Christina goggles. I'm going to look at this with Christ goggles. Like, I'm going to change the way I look at it. I think I felt like that was what she was saying. And so I did. I was like, okay, yeah, I can do that. I can change my shift, you know? So it was amazing. And I'm sorry if I can't like explain it all the way. There's like so much, but I had this really powerful, um, fun day. And I was thinking what Jody says, I'm a happy learner. And I'm like, ooh, I like that too. I'm a happy learner. Like, no matter what the lesson seems to feel like, I can be a happy learner. And I was a happy learner today. Like, I was like, oh, I'm just getting all this good stuff. And so it was amazing. Thank you.
Beautiful.
I feel like I can feel what you're saying. It's so familiar to me. I've been through it many times. Like you don't need words, like it's so felt and it's so great. And the eczema thing, I was telling Jody about it. I have it on my hand. It's been driving me fucking crazy. It's been 4 years. It was really bad. Like last week, I was peeling it. I was like, I scratch till I bleed and I don't care. And then it hurts forever. And it's been quite the experience. And um yeah, it's like do I want to be right or do I want to be happy? And I haven't had a happy learner day in a while, because the what's been coming up has been so loud
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
takes up so much space. And I have been shown what it's like to hand something over, like fully, here, do this. Okay. And then all this space is created, the experience of space, And and I have not been doing that. It's been crowded in there. And the volume has been turned up. Yeah. Like being right is such a trap,
Mm-hmm.
you know? Like my own perceptions are familiar, so they offer the toxic experience, the lie of safety. And
Wait, can you say that one more time? I'm sorry.
yeah, it's so easy to get trapped by the idea of familiarity being safe. Something that's
Mm-hmm.
familiar automatically feels safe. If I'm unwilling to lean towards Christ, then I have to lean towards ego. And I lean towards something that's familiar. And I do that because then it offers this actually toxic experience of being safe. It's a lie. The safety that ego offers is a lie. It's
Mm-hmm.
actually toxic. And I've been I've been there. I've been swimming around in sewage, in toxic sewage for a while. Yeah.
When I first started with Calico again, she took a break and then we started again. One of the first notes I wrote down was, can you embrace the crash and burn? Because that's what I went through over the summer, just like the total crash and burn where like everything came up. And so it sounds like that's a similar process to what you're in right now, Christine, where you just like everything is coming up. The terror is all at the surface. Congratulations.
Yeah, it is at the
Embrace the crash
surface.
and burn.
I just have to let myself fucking crash and burn. But it's like, I'm holding on, and it's really not working out for me. I mean, Spirit was very clear with me in Mexico when I tried to step out just in my mind, just for like a half an hour, like an episode of Friends. I just tried to distract one episode of Friends, and Spirit was like, it's too late for you. I actually heard those words. It's too late for you. You said yes. Like it's too like you've gone way too far.
Yeah.
There is no more space for that. So when I try to do that, it's incredibly uncomfortable. Really fast, like really fast. Like when I know when I am leaning towards Christ, that feels a certain way. And when I'm leaning towards the other thing, that feels a certain way.
Christina, I don't want to interrupt you, but I was going to ask you, you said that you were feeling like you wanted to take a break from your lessons for a couple of days. So how did you recognize that feeling as being something that you should not pay attention to, as opposed to doing, you know what I mean?
I
Do you have
do.
like
And I knew this question was going to come up somehow. I knew it because one of the things that came up at the time was, well, how do I know this isn't guidance? And how do I, like, just to offer a little bit of support, take a break to offer a little bit of support, and how do I know if this is the ego saying, get out of here, reverse, reverse, and for me, I had the question. So one, I was willing to have the question and be open to, okay, is this just ego backpedaling and trying to, like, hiding in spirit? Is this just ego using spirituality to hide and hijack,
Okay.
And I didn't stop. I just didn't stop. I was like, no sudden movements. Have the questions and the thoughts, but no sudden movements. And someone said to me a long time ago when I was really learning about this, like, oh my God, how do I know what's the right direction? And it was Michael, and he was very simple with it. He was just like, don't get bogged down in like, which way, just pick a direction. Whatever the question happens to be, whatever you're talking about, whatever you're wondering about, doesn't matter. Pick a direction. It's going to feel right or it's going to feel wrong. Something will feel really right about it if you're paying attention. And he was right. He was really right. When I really stopped to pay attention, that's when it really started making sense. And then I started applying it to everything. Like I started applying it to, Holy Spirit, what do I wear today? What shirt do I wear? What pants do I wear? What underwear do I wear? Holy Spirit, I'm at the grocery store. What do I, like, it was such a practice with every single thing. And I would have my list, and then Spirit would come in. It's like, no, you're not getting eggs. But I'm out of eggs. No. And I could tell because I would reach for the eggs and it would be like, I'd feel the no. You don't need that. Just listen. Just listen and follow. And you know what? If I don't want to follow, just be willing to see that you don't want to follow. Just be willing to see it all. Yeah. Wow. Am I willing? That's the willingness. That's why it only is ever about willingness. Am I willing to be wrong? Am I willing to notice this thought? Am I willing to notice this feeling? Am I willing to express this? Am I willing to hand it over? It's always the willingness.
Am I willing to see this differently? Am I willing to ask for help? Yeah, willingness.
I love how you ask for help with picking your clothes and your food. And I mean, like, that might sound dumb to you because you're used to doing it. But for me, that's like a new concept that everything could be given over, like everything, you know? So, yeah.
It was
Yeah.
great because the reflection that would come back with like wearing what spirit was guiding me to wear, something would happen throughout the day. Like somebody would say something like, "Oh, that shirt reminds me of my mother." And they would share like I don't know what
Oh,
anything is for. Like this is why we don't know what anything is for. That's why listening and
mm,
following is so important because I could be showing up perfectly for
mhm,
someone else to see a thought, feel a thought, heal a thought,
mm.
whatever it is. And I saw that. That was demonstrated over and over again. I was like, holy shit. That's why I need to listen and follow. This
Wow.
tiniest, most ridiculous thing that you would think is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
it's
it
all
was
for something. It serves a purpose that I cannot see or understand.
like when Marcy went to the grocery store the other night thinking she needed
Mhm.
something.
Yeah. I thought it was potatoes and kale, and it was hugging the lady in the produce section, the worker in the produce. Yeah, it was amazing. And that was just a gift for me. So, yeah, I find that I feel like I'm able to follow guidance easier if I don't think about it, because I have no idea what made me go to the grocery store when I went. It was so random, and I mean, it was, yeah, I just was watching myself. I'm like, oh, well, I guess we're going to the grocery store. I'm getting in my car. I'm like, okay, I guess. But I have problems when I have like a big decision to make and it feels like it's something I need to decide. I don't know if that makes sense. Like if it's something small, like running to the grocery store or just going through your flow, but then I get to filling out my divorce paperwork and I get this like block, and it's just it's weird. So I'm trying to widen my circle of allowing, you know? Yeah. Not just the little things like going to the grocery store, but
Yeah, I had to be shown that there are no little things and there are no big things
mm,
and there are no decisions to be made.
mm-hmm,
There is only there's only pause and listen. There's
mm,
only willingness. Like all those things are willingness in my mind. Because if I think I have a decision to make, then I'm
mm,
taking over. I'm
mm,
taking over. Whether it's divorce papers or eggs or the black shirt
mm,
or the jeans or the, you know, because
mm-hmm,
it's really like I had to be shown, we have to be shown all the subtle ways that we try to take over, that we try to be right, the things that we hold on to, the things that we think are precious, all those things keep us swimming in sewage. That's,
mm-hmm.
they offer us stuckness. Yeah, I had to be shown. And it started with clothes. The willingness started with pausing in front of the closet. Because it's the practice of the pausing, right? It's the practice of inviting Christ into the moment.
Mm,
Because every moment can be a Christ filled moment,
mm-hmm,
a Christ experienced moment. Am I inviting Christ in? Or am I deciding? I was deciding what jeans to wear and what shirt to wear and what earrings to wear, and all those choices were actually coming from a place of fear. They were like underneath it all, it's fear. It's like, well, I want to appear a certain way. I want to feel a certain way. I want to get noticed a certain way. I want to hide this thing that I judge about myself. It was all
mm-hmm,
motivated from these things. Oh, this color looks better on me, which I later found out was pointed out to me by spirit. These are the colors you hide in. These are the colors you use as camouflage. These are shields. Like so everything had to be revealed. And way back when it started with grocery shopping and clothes. Yeah. And I remember when Jason said to me, this is Andrew's brother. When I was 30 years old, I met Jason. I remember him saying to me, you have to pause and ask with every single thing, what is this for?
Mm.
And I remember when he said that, something in my ego, the ego in my mind just was like retracted like so fast. And I was like, nope, I'm not doing that. And I knew I was saying no to something deep, and then I shoved it away. But then very quickly, within like a year or two, it was like, okay, what is this for? And that question took me so far because I would ask, pause, and wait for the answer. And it was always some kind of, oh, I want to hide here. That's what this is for. Oh, I want to protect this. That's what this is for. Why am I going to West Edmonton Mall? Oh, I want to distract myself. What, you know what I mean? Like, it really stirred shit up. It was like one of those questions that grabbed onto my foundations and just really shook. Because if you don't want to pause and you don't want to invite Christ in, asking that question really points that out.
What is this for?
What is this?
Wow. Wow.
Like with every single thing, like taking this out of the fridge, what is this for? Where am I reaching towards? It's just something I want from this, actually. I have a preference for this flavor or whatever. It's like really be aware of what is
Mm.
happening in the moment in my mind. Yeah.
I'm going to start doing that. I love that. What is this for? Wow. Boy.
It reaches
Oh.
right into the mind. It's like it has 5,000 tentacles,
Mhm.
loving tentacles. And it just reaches in to everywhere. And it just wiggles through and it pulls them out. And it is uncomfortable because there are things we don't want revealed. It is a revealing question.
Mm. I love that. Thank you, Christina. That's amazing. Yeah. What is this for? My ego is like, oh shit.
Then you know you're on the right track.
Mhm.
When your ego's like, oh shit, fuck.
Retract, retract. How can I get the fuck out of here?
Yeah.
I love it.
Does my dog have to pee? Does your dog have to pee or something?
Are you
What?
asking me?
Yeah. Just
How'd you
making a
know?
joke. I'm making a joke about having to get out of here.
Oh, gotcha.
Your dog is gonna have to pee in a second.
I have more dogs now.
Do
I'm
you?
I'm evolving. So I'm checking in on the neighbor's dog now.
Cool.
And yeah, it's um I heard this dog next door and he was crying and scratching and anyways, so I connected with the owner and he's a young man. He's in school, he's working full time, he's got all this stuff going on. His mom's been so anyways, it's like such a blessing. He does not know me. He made me a key to his house. So I've been going over there the last couple of days and checking on his dog. And like after our Zoom meeting, I'll go over there and give him his dinner and take him and Emmy for a walk. And um, it's like the joy that I have in around me, my animals around me is like expanding. So it's kind of a blessing. It's a blessing for me and it's a blessing for him. So it's like I don't know, it's just this really cool thing. I love it. So I just think it's weird that you said that because now I sort of have two dogs. And yes, I can hear him crying next door.
Mhm.
Yeah. He wants his, yeah. I told him 6 o'clock, so we're good.
Well, you got 9 minutes by my clock.
He's got a doggy watch on his
He sure
work.
does. Yeah, he knows. Counting down
It's
the
just,
seconds.
it was really interesting. I went over there this afternoon and I just sat with him and pet him, and I told him, I was talking to him about his dad, his owner, I guess. I don't like owner, but I was just talk verbalizing to him saying, your daddy loves you and he misses you and he has to work so he can buy you treats, and I was talking to him and I was like, Spirit's like, that's how your father feels about you. Like, you're talking about, you know what I mean? Like, I was talking to myself and reassuring myself, like, it's okay, it's okay. It was it was a cool experience. I liked it. Yeah. Yeah. What is this for? Hmm. You know, I actually have a question for you guys. Um, in the course, when it talks about our creations, can either of you talk about that? Like what that, how, where that is with you, or how you, I'm, I'm, I'm like, what
I
am I?
wouldn't mind saying something about that because
Yeah,
like I
yeah.
can tell it's gonna help me process something and I don't even know what it is. Yeah. Yeah, we can, like, creation is only with Christ. There's no such thing as creativity or it's not real. It's not real
Mm,
creation.
mm,
And the only creation that's real is with Christ. It's also it's making me think there's something floating in. It's like uh it's the cause and effect. David talks about this. You really have to get to a point where you understand the real cause and effect. The way the world has defined cause and effect is wrong. The world gets everything wrong. And
right,
and the way we believe cause and effect in the world, like, well, medication affects your
right, right,
body, so
right.
cause and effect, right? Or you touch a hot stove, cause and effect. No, that is not cause and effect. There is only one cause and effect,
Mhm.
and it's God and Christ. Like, it's God and Christ consciousness. That is the only cause and effect. God causes Christ consciousness. And I know there's more to this. Like, this is a really deep concept, the way
Yeah.
David talks about it, because it shakes everything that we think we know about
Mhm.
physics, about
Mhm.
science. It shakes everything off the tree,
Yeah.
and that's, of course, is the only game in town, shaking everything off the tree. And I know there's more to say about creation,
Mhm.
um, but it's not coming through me right now. So
That's like a good, I mean, I don't know if I can handle too much more today. Like, you guys gave me so much last night. I had so much today, and that's like amazing. I can really sit with that. Cause and effect is God and Christ for a starting point. I mean, for like an overview. Like, that's a really good overview without going into detail. I mean,
yeah, because that one concept alone, like I said, it has the potential to destroy whole the whole story.
Mm.
It it's that that's the depth. Like, yeah, it's like when you
Mm.
Like, it's so easy to get caught up in thinking we have all these individual triggers or
Mhm.
problems or issues or stresses
Mhm.
or anxieties, and we
Mhm.
don't.
Right,
There's
right.
only one mind. There's only
Mhm.
one problem. And the
Mhm.
one problem, when you trickle all the seeming other problems down to the one space,
Mhm.
it's that we believe we separated from God. And so the ego was born.
Mm.
Every problem trickles down to that. So really these big concepts, at least for me, these big concepts help me dilute the noise. Oh, it's
Mm.
just because I believe I separated from God.
Mm.
Like, I'm upset because somebody cut me off in traffic. No, I'm actually upset because I believe I separated from God. I forgot that I did not separate from God, but I believe I did. Like, every single reaction trickles down to that. And and the
Mm.
whole, you know, the only cause and effect is God and Christ. I mean, that's the whole course. Like, that's the whole,
Yeah.
that's the root of
Wow.
everything. That's where we're going.
That was my whole chapter 8 today. That yeah. Yeah. Wow. Thank you, Christina. Why do I keep calling you Christina? It's Christine. I'm
I
sorry.
know. It's fine.
I renamed you. I apologize.
No, it's fine.
Mm, no, that's really good. I like that. Cause and effect. God and Christ. Creation. There's nothing to create.
It's nothing.
Hmm.
Yeah, David's great. He's like, yeah, nothing is ever created. No one ever writes a book. No one
Yeah.
ever really directs a movie. No one ever really paints artwork. No one ever, none of these things are real. None of these things really happen. There's no such thing as achievements. There's no such thing as an author. There's no such thing as a sculptor. Like, none of these things are real. They're all just distractions. And it's like, if I call myself an author, or I call myself a painter, or a
Mhm.
sculptor, or a dancer, then I'm not calling myself Christ. I've taken on the identity and
Mhm.
role of writer, let's say. And I've replaced
Mhm.
that. I've replaced Christ
Mhm.
with writer,
Wow.
author, dancer, whatever. Yeah. It is humbling. This is a humbling journey. This is a humbling awakening.
And Jody said last night that humility and honesty are essential tools, not just like, oh, it's helpful, essential tools, honesty and humility.
Yeah. Yeah, she's
Wow.
right on the money with that one. I would even say for many years, I said brutal honesty because it
Mm,
feels brutal. Like, when you really start to get to the meat of your thoughts and your attachments, and
yeah.
when you start to really uncover, like, start to
Mhm,
really be shown all the
mhm,
shit that you did not want to see and didn't know was there, there
mhm.
is a requirement
Yeah.
for brutal fucking honesty.
Hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was for me. There was for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm seeing that. Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
And it's funny you
Wow.
mentioned the word fuck at the beginning. You were like, it's a fuck day, it's a fuck whatever. Because, oh my God, this is so funny. The word fuck for me, for quite a long period of time, felt like I had this imagery. The word fuck was like a pitchfork, and it helped me get under the roots of whatever thought I was expressing about. And when I tried to not use the word fuck, I felt like I was like floundering. Like I felt like, no, I'm not getting it all if I don't use the word fuck, because it triggered a lot of people. Like when I was at Namaste at Jimmy's, it
Mhm.
triggered a lot of people. And I can remember, okay, Holy Spirit, like, do I tone it down? What do I do?
Mhm.
Like, what? People are uncomfortable. And normally, you know what? If you're uncomfortable, that's for you. That's for you. You know, like I'm not going to adjust so you can
Mhm.
avoid discomfort. This is the look at discomfort thing. This is what we're doing. This is what it's for. But, you know, I had to pause and it was pretty clear. Keep saying fuck because it was exposing the attachment of what spirituality is supposed to sound like
Mm.
and what it's supposed to look like.
Mm.
A woman's like all of these things were getting exposed in
Mhm.
the group, you know? Yeah. And then
Mhm.
it came to a time where it was like, no, it's okay. You can drop that now. You can drop the fuck or whatever, you know.
Christina, that's like so hugely weird that you would say that, because when I was getting centered today, a thought popped into my head, and I saw in a Course in Miracles group, in some people's comments, somebody had a little meme, and it was like a Christmas meme, and it said fuck on it. Like, I don't even know what the meme was, but I was reading the people's comments because I can get stuff from that, from their comments, see what my reactions are. And someone was like, "Oh, this is a Course in Miracles group. I wish you wouldn't use that language." And today I was like, "Oh, oopsies." I'm like on these Zoom calls, and I'm just, and I thought maybe I should, like, try to make sure I use appropriate language. And I'm like, I like saying fuck. Sometimes it's like that's what I need to say to feel expressed fully. And I thought, why would Course in Miracles people even care what word you use? Words are twice removed. I mean, they're I mean, what? And I'm like, fuck that. And then you mentioned that. So that's really cool. Yeah. Fuck it. I mean, really.
Yeah, as long as I'm willing to check in and willing to pause and willing to hear, I will
Mm,
be told, okay,
yeah.
stop using that. Stop speaking
Mm-hmm.
like this. You know what I mean? Like instructions are really specific if they need to be.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have to worry about, like at the time, it was like, I don't actually have to make a decision about saying
Mm-mm.
fuck or not. I just need
Mm-mm.
to make the decision to be willing to hear whatever my instructions are.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get to see my attachment to not wanting to give up the word fuck
Mm-hmm.
or whatever that looks like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I was pretty attached to it for a while because it was a tool that I um, really used and really leaned on,
It was
got
your
attached
pitchfork.
to. Yeah, yeah. Like so I thought I needed my pitchfork then, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then the day came when I didn't actually need the pitchfork. So I was asked to shift,
Mm.
you can shift now. Yeah.
Mm. Wow. Mhm. Mm. Wow, this has been really helpful, you guys. And I have a new phone. So, like, I can't see Jody right now. Like, I can only see Christine. How do you guys make it to where you can see everybody when
Swipe
you're
to
on?
the left or the right, or go up
Okay.
or down.
Okay.
On my phone, it's to the left.
Oh, I did it.
Hi.
Oh my God, I'm so happy.
So now if you're in a meeting with a lot of people, you should just be able to scroll and you'll see everybody. Like on my phone, they get stacked when there's a lot of
Okay.
people.
Okay. Oh, this is so cool. I know it's baby
No, I
steps
had
for
an issue with
me.
that too on my computer. I couldn't figure out why. And when I was at any given Zoom, sometimes I could see everybody and sometimes I couldn't. I was like, what the
Yeah.
fuck is going on? Yeah. Yeah.
Yay.
Yay.
Hey, where's the balloons that are supposed to pop up on Zoom, when you're happy?
Oh yeah, the
You
new
know how
I think
like,
it's
experiences
for
or
people who
whatever.
are upgraded. I
oh,
just upgraded, but I'm not one of those people.
I don't think I'm one of those people.
Yeah.
Hello.
That's what Pat did that one day, the first
Yeah.
time we saw the balloon. She did this
I'm
and
gonna make my own celebration.
yeah.
Cool, you guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, these
This was
meetings are
good.
so great. These conversations are so powerful. I'm
Yeah.
so grateful.
I had a lot of breakthroughs today, thanks to last night. So thank you,
Mhm.
both of you. I mean, it's like, yeah, wow. I feel like I almost like that feeling when you start a new grade in school and then on the last day of school and you have that feeling like, ooh, next year I'm going to be in I like have that kind of feeling. Like it was such a full day of
Mhm.
just realizations that, yeah.
Beautiful. And there's no turning back. Once you start, man, once you start to see that man behind the curtain, the ego starts to lose its power. There's
Mhm.
no turning back. Yeah. And unknow.
And what? I'm sorry.
Cannot unknow.
Oh, yes.
You can
No.
unlearn, but you can't unknow.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think I need to get going because I need to
Mhm.
take
Yeah.
care of somebody. You
Say
guys
bye.
probably can't hear him. I can hear him. Woo, cry, cry, cry.
The
Oh,
mighty companion is calling.
And
yeah.
you guys check it out. He's a beagle.
Oh,
Not love Charlie Brown, Snoopy, like a beagle, like, oh my
Aw.
God. So I have a beagle in my awareness. I love it.
yeah.
And not only is he a beagle, he's a frosty face.
What's a frosty face?
He's like 10 years old.
Oh.
So he's a senior citizen, I guess. Like I have like an addiction to frosty face dogs. It's like I have this very strange thing. I only adopt dogs that are normally 10 years and older. And the oldest dog that I ever rescued was 15. And I had her the longest out of all my dogs ever. I had her for like 4 years or almost 5 years. Yeah. So, yeah. So now I have a frosty faced beagle.
Cool.
Mhm.
We'll have fun out there.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I will.
Christine, do you have anything else you want to share?
I think I'm good for now. I think integration is going to be coming in the next couple hours.
Yeah,
Mm.
sure. Yeah.
Mm.
Thank you too. Love you.
Thank you.
Have a
Good
good night.
night.
Right.